It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning.
Kevin is the host.
And his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz. And he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
What's going on? Welcome to the KVJ Show. Hello, happy Tuesday. Just want to say a quick apology to the guy that I dusted down in the lobby. You ever had that where, yeah, we were just moving at different paces. He was this dude. It was just kind of a leisurely day. He's kind of strolling in here, and I'm coming in with my pants on fire. You know, I got a place I gotta be. I got a timetable, and so I was walking up, and you know, I know the complete right thing to do because I was coming in the front door was to stand there and wait for him and hold that door, and I did not. I blew right in, and he probably is like, that son of a rude.
When you said dusted, I thought you crop dusted somebody downstairs. You walked by
I left him in my dust. That's what I meant. Yeah, not in my fart smell, but in my dust. And so he's got to be like, yeah. So I apologize to you, sir. We're in two different places.
Was it at a point where you were getting the elevator and he was close to the elevator?
It was kind of like, and I heard the door and the elevator then open, and he was still kind of like right behind me. But I kind of looked back, and he still was I'm just in a leisurely Tuesday pace, and I'm like, I got a place I got to be in about 30 seconds. I said the Jonas Brothers are winding down, and I said I got to be there.
Elevator etiquette is kind of weird, and it's kind of uncomfortable. Elevator situations. When to wait? How long should you wait?
I broke it. I clearly broke it. I was in the wrong. I broke door etiquette. Then I broke elevator etiquette right afterwards, and so I am calling myself out. And I am apologizing, but I just had to go.
And when you're in the elevator, let's say it's just you and another person, I feel awkward not saying something to them. But then I also feel like, am I being too annoying?
Had that happen yesterday. Yeah, you ever had that where it's like we're on the 5th floor, and I started to go down, and there's nothing better than that. Just unabated, uninterrupted travel all the way down to your destination. And I got on and boom, stopped right at the 4th floor. This guy came in. And it was the same thing where it's like, I got nothing to say. He didn't say anything. And it still is awkward. Just standing next to somebody in relatively close quarters and there's no conversation.
I feel weird if there's not a conversation. But if it's, I
felt weird too, but I felt like it would have been more weird had I tried to say something because I had nothing to say.
And then I think if it's just a woman in the elevator, does she think it's creepy that I'm just in there and now I'm asking her a question?
It is odd. I had that happen yesterday.
She wants to just be, right?
Yeah, I had that happen yesterday.
I got a lot of questions about elevators.
I know. It's a tough situation we put ourselves in. I don't think I'm doing it right. In fact, I know I'm doing it wrong. That's why I'm calling myself out here today. Virginia's not with us. Again today. She will be back tomorrow. She had to go to Kentucky. There was a death in her family. Her stepmother had passed. She had told a little bit about that story, so she is with them. But she will be back with us on tomorrow's KVJ show. So you know what that means, Bird. Somebody got to step up and handle the dirt.
It's the KVJ
Dirt of the day.
It's the KVJ
Dirt of the day.
Virginia, take it away.
Cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Like I tell you, they are really milking this Britney conservatorship story.
Oh, yes.
Man, oh, man. It seems like every single day there is another story about what is going on, who is stepping up, who is saying something. So today you got a couple voices that have thrown their name in here because they realize if they just mention the Britney conservatorship, they will get some media attention. That would be KVJ.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, KVJ is back. KVJ has got something to say about this conservatorship. Yeah, he jumped in and he said that he just wants whatever's going to make Britney happy because when she's happy, it's what's best for the kids. So there you go.
Zow.
Great dad KVJ. Jamie Lynn Spears, Britney's sister, kind of had to jump into this and, said she does support Britney and she just wants to make it clear she's not living off of Britney's money. Because I guess apparently some people are throwing some shade at her, and she's like, just to get this straight, I am not living off of my sister's money. So don't throw me into this. And then Christina Aguilera, she jumped in as well and offered up her support and sent out some photos of her and Britney from back in the day.
Did she over-sing her response?
Britney. Unfortunately, she just released a statement. But they are actually doing polls on this and how Americans feel because we all care about this. 71% of Americans have heard about Britney Spears' testimony, and 2/3, 65%, believe that Britney should be set free and the conservatorship should be terminated. So we care a lot about this as a country for some reason.
I haven't been able to sleep.
Yes.
Ah, gosh.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I have this back thing on.
I think you turned your mic off or something. Is your mic working? I got to talk into your mic still.
Sorry, I have this back machine, the tens machine.
Yeah.
And it clicked out, and for some reason it went to the highest level, and I wasn't expecting it. Sorry. Oh my gosh, that was awful.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Good heavens.
Sorry.
Wow.
It went to a 12. I don't know.
Just out of nowhere, huh?
I'm having really bad back problems.
Good. I thought you were just that excited about the Britney story.
No, I'm so sorry.
Okay. I got some history that was made. Cataluna Enriquez became the first transgender woman to win Miss Nevada USA, and now she's going to represent the state. And the Miss USA pageant is going to be coming up on November 29th. Also, a little bit more from that James Corden story we had yesterday, how the Late Late Show is going to be or at least adapting their Spill Your Gut segment. There's actually one woman, Kim Sarah, who started a petition that now has more than 45,000 signatures. She was saying that the fact that they used nasty kind of what he would call, you got to watch that thing. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's all right. It's not distracting.
I thought it was fixed, man.
Just trying to read the stories. The dude just keeps jumping out of his chair and screaming.
Sorry. All right. As you were.
Did any other radio host deal with a co-host who just
No, I am the least professional radio host.
Good Lord.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I'm really having a rough morning. And
You are, huh?
Yeah, I am, and I'm making it rough for you.
Okay.
I'll fix this during commercial.
Okay, yeah. It's probably a good plan. Anyway, there you go. I don't even know what I was saying. Let's just, it was a bad idea to do the dirt. Let's just wait for Virginia.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Other than getting shocked by your tens machine, Jaybird, is there anything else that you got on your mind today?
I'd like to apologize to everybody who is listening. I'm so sorry. I screamed bloody murder.
Somebody said Virginia killed sudden death. Jaybird just killed the dirt.
I'm okay with that.
I know. That's your claim to fame.
So now I openly admit I'm a novice when getting into this subject, but I am very into it. I started watching stuff about lost cities and cities that we didn't even know existed back in the day. For example, the Amazon. We thought for so long it wasn't, we didn't have any kind of civilization out there, or at least not what we would think of people having high technology or cities. And they've got this new kind of technology where they put it over the land and they can see through the trees, the structures of things. And it shows that, especially in the Amazon, there were thriving lost cities in that area.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm very obsessed with all this stuff now. If you guys have any kind of story or something I should be looking into, please let me know. I want to absorb it, Denny's, explore it.
Yeah, it's amazing when they dig up some of these old places that they didn't know had existed, and it was actually such a thriving city and a big cultural place.
Yeah, well, it just shows you we don't know everything. We always act like we know everything from the past, and then all of a sudden something happens and we go, oh yeah, well, we were wrong and off by 200,000 years. They even said they found a third type of species out there that's closer to the human.
Really?
Yeah.
Another species?
Yes. Look into it.
What is it, like an ape-like species?
It was
or what
like
is it?
a human light, if you shall.
A human light?
Human? Those are my own words. Like a fat-free human? I don't know. But like a different type of species we didn't know about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You would think that'd be bigger news.
I don't know, man. I feel like the media doesn't want to report on that. That's why we're here.
Okay. Denny's, what you got on your mind today?
So this week I am going to change out my mailbox to a new one I just ordered, and I'm real hyped for it. But I don't think I looked all over the internet, and maybe the good people can help. But I don't think there's anything or anyone I have to let know that I'm doing this. I think I can just do it. I ordered my mailbox. It says U.S. mail certified, size, dimensions, all that fun stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna copy how the other one is and put it right next to it. I think it's already set to the right dimensions. From I guess there's the only restriction is have to be a certain distance from the street and a certain height so they can reach it from the car. But aside from that, it doesn't seem like much, but I don't think I have to let the HOA know. I don't think I have to let the city know. I don't think I have to let anyone know. I think I can just do this.
You just do whatever you want in your mailbox.
Yeah, but I can't find anything that explicitly says that.
Yeah, because I know it's a federally controlled thing, and they frown on people bashing other people's mailboxes.
Well, for every article I see that says, yeah, it's fine, just do it, I see another article that says, no, it's a federal offense. So I don't want to.
This is what Denny's goes away on?
Yeah, or I don't want to do it, and then they make me take it down, put the old one back up, and then I have to redo it again after approval.
Right.
I really don't want to have to do that.
I gotta tell you, man, ever since that trash can got stolen, you've been shook. It's in your head.
Well, I mean, you never know what the laws are, the rules are. I ordered another trash can, the other guys returned it. Now I have 2 giant trash cans.
You still got the 2.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with the other one.
I kind of want it. I'll buy it off you.
You can have it.
Would that raise a red flag if I have a West Palm trash can in Palm Beach Gardens?
I think it's all the same company.
Oh.
So
Waste management.
Yeah, I think you're cool. Yeah, I mean, it's brand new. It's very nice. I don't even know what to do with it. I don't accumulate enough
I
trash.
feel like I need 2. I don't know. I think I live alone.
You're very trashy?
I don't know. I think I get down on snacks more.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really nice size. But yeah, I'm gonna do that this week. I don't think there's anything super involved in it. It seems I looked up on YouTube, kind of like learned how to do it.
That seems right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Seems like a safe bet.
I have the most janky mailbox on the street. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, if anyone knows if there is, I can't find anything that definitively says I can or cannot do that.
And if you wanted to make, I don't know, your mailbox a custom-made mailbox, like a big giant banana, could you do that, or are they going to frown upon that?
I think you can, as long as it meets the restriction or the guidelines that the mail people give you.
Yeah, mailman's texted in and said, yeah, certain height and distance, but no, we don't regulate mailboxes. You can change out anytime you want. I think I've seen Bigfoot mailboxes and things like that. People can do different things. That would be perfect for you, Jaber. It'd be a lot easier for our listeners to find your house. It's not easy enough yet.
It's pretty easy so far. I think a lot.
But I think a Bigfoot mailbox would just,
You're right.
close the door on
Because
that.
that Bigfoot flag I have right now isn't enough attention.
Yeah, probably not enough. You need maybe some strobe lights or something.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple an alien scene of figurines out there. I love it.
Yeah, really point the way in there.
Well, if I got the green flag, then I'm probably doing that this week.
Think you're good? Yeah, okay. New Denny's home project?
Yeah, I've been chipping them all away. There's a ton of them.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
It is really exciting.
It is fun. I was looking at this new sink I'm pretty hyped on, but I know I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to get too much into it.
I'm going to start talking about a garden I want to plant.
Get him excited.
That's too much.
Yeah. I was curious if anybody else has any unofficial pets. Started thinking about this, and I was kind of looking around at what we have at our house. Now, we got our dog Coco, a little Pomeranian that does there, and that's the official pet. But I had told you just a couple weeks ago, I was out back just kind of chilling, eating some nuts, and a squirrel came up and just sat basically right beside me and started eating right out of my bowl right next to me. I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't say anything, didn't do anything, just kind of sat there, and he was just chill, and I was just chill. And they're always there. Those 3 squirrels have been around the house for years now. And then we've also got this big old raccoon that just kind of walks along. Got one of those privacy walls, and he's always just there walking between my house and maybe 2 others. But my son Cannon's like, he calls him his friend, and he'll kind of like, hey, and just kind of go out there and talk to him. The raccoon just looks at him. And
Does that raccoon eat snacks?
The raccoon, yeah, will try to get in your garbage and whatnot.
Snackoon.
A snackoon, yeah. So you got to watch it, but it's kind of interesting. It's almost like you know who they are. They're kind of there. They kind of come around for some food. I just walk by the raccoon now. There's no fear. There's no whatever. And he'll just be sitting there, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man?
That's awesome.
I've got that midnight cat that poops. It's the pooping midnight cat. Right around midnight,
Right.
He likes to run and set off my spotlight, and I'll look out there, and it poops in my little area. Kind of looks at me, scampers off, but he's just kind of hanging around.
I think when you're in Florida, there's just so many creatures around, and they kind of hang out in the same little area. And I know I've got those mockingbirds out front, which are not as fun. Those are the ones that keep trying to attack my face, but they've been there for years, and we just kind of got this little interesting family of animals and whatever that's just kind of our unofficial pets.
At my old place, I had pet rats.
Okay.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
those as well. We chase those off. So just curious if anybody else is dealing with that. So Virginia had a lot of things going on Saturday at your s'mores party. Not only is she proposing to be your surrogate, saying that you were emotionally unavailable, but also had a lot of commentary about your grass that was going on. I even saw some comments because you posted up some videos, and some people who were watching the videos, they had some stuff to say about your grass. And I've been there before in my backyard. It was really tough. Some places just happen like that, where I would get shade in my backyard. I could never grow grass, and it was always a mess, and it looked disgusting. I remember at one point I looked out back, I'm like, I have the most ratchet backyard without a doubt in South Florida.
Well, I had a big old giant tree, well, my neighbor did. It was blocking one part of my grass, and plus we just went through a pretty bad drought. We didn't have a lot of rain for a while, so one part of my grass was really bad, but we just cut that tree down, so it's slowly coming back. But I have to get an irrigation system in there, and it's been quoted at like $2,500, or it's a couple $1,000s. She wants me to get artificial grass.
Yeah.
She thinks that's going to look better. I did a vote at the s'mores party. Most people said just get regular grass. I'm more nature anyway. I like nature. I like to feel the grass on my bare feet.
Okay.
But I do have to get the irrigation system if I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was her hating on the regular grass. She thinks it needs to be artificial, no matter what. My dad's old school. My dad thinks
He likes the real.
He thinks it's silly to do artificial grass. He doesn't get it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm going artificial. The reasons being is because with real grass, a couple things. One, you're right. You need an irrigation system. You also, because you have a pool and things like that, grass clippings and the whatnot is something that can get in the pool and can kind of be tough to clean up. Got to mow it. And on top of it, a lot of times it's really hard to grow good-looking grass. You have to put different kind of fertilizers down and do these kind of things depending. So, you can get that St. Augustine grass, which is not great to walk on, but it's very durable and it withstands the heat. So you can have that, but to have like nice, soft, kind of plush grass that you like to take your feet off and walk around on, that stuff is harder to maintain. I had the artificial stuff. I love it. It's low maintenance. I don't think about it. I look out back. It always looks green. It's fantastic.
It's expensive.
It is, but to me, I think it's worth the investment. I mean, like I said, with lawnmower, grass, all that kind of stuff, and what you're going to spend in fertilizers and whatnot, I don't know if the cost is going to be that much radically different.
This conversation's only made me more confused. I don't know. I need help from the people.
Yeah.
The people need to help me.
Yeah.
Artificial grass or real grass?
Yeah. Who's got the pros and cons? Did you just headbutt your microphone?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
You all right?
I'm having a real rough morning. In a good way, not a bad way.
I hear you.
My spirits are high.
Tell me what's going on with your back, because you were screaming earlier during the dirt. You have this TENS machine that is locking it and chalking it and all that kind of stuff.
I'm just, I got back problems. I think it's chronic at this point.
Yeah.
And, there'll be days or weeks, my back will be feeling great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 18 again.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
then you get a little bit overconfident. You do headstands and things like that.
Yeah, I know. I try to have fun.
Yeah.
On social media for the people. Maybe
Right.
I should not. I don't know. But
Having a hard time dialing it back.
Yes, I am. But I'm all right.
Yeah.
I know people don't like when I complain about my back.
Tell me about your back doctor, though. You went to this new guy you were saying that kind of tried this new treatment on you, but he's got a lot of comments about our show, apparently.
Well, he did. So I've seen him twice.
Yeah.
And he's a cat that reached out to me.
Right.
So he goes, hey, I can help you out, Bert.
How did he reach out to you?
Through Facebook.
Okay, so he was on Facebook and he
said, hey, say, Bert, I can help you out with your back. I'm like, all right, sure,
So he probably heard you talking about your back on our show, and he reached out to you for that on Facebook.
He told me that someone who listens to our show told him, and he listens to our show too. Mm-hmm. So he's been one of those people that's listened in and out throughout the years, I guess. I would categorize him as that.
Okay.
But the two times I've went there, he's dissed our show. He actually personally dissed you and Virginia.
What did he say?
He called you. He goes, so I tuned into the show. I tell you, man, Kevin's really boring and Virginia's really annoying. And I was like, I don't know you like that. So he dissed you, and then he dissed Virginia. And then the second time, he said something again, how he didn't like what we were talking about and how he thought it was boring. And I thought that was weird because I'm paying him.
Did he say what it was we were talking about that he found boring?
I think we're talking about something entertainment style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the dirt. He's not a fan of the dirt or entertainment stuff?
I guess so. But I thought that was weird, him saying that as I'm paying him service.
Yeah.
To work on my back, I don't want to hear that.
Well, if he's created this kind of dynamic and relationship with you, then you should be very vocal about what he's doing. Being like, hey, you know what? I don't like this tens machine and how it jumps all the way to 10 and shocks me in the middle of the dirt.
I will
Yeah,
now.
Kevin said that. The boring guy that you don't like said you're an a-hole and you need to get a better tens machine.
Oh, don't worry. He threw shade at me, too. He was...
Well, if he wants to have that kind of dynamic, be like, hey, since we've established this and you can go on ahead and talk about, my work and things like that. Your receptionist, by the way, I don't think she has a good enough smile. And when she answers the phone, she was like, yeah.
Well, that was my question. Would you go back to that doctor, or do you go, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. If he can help my back, he can help my back.
I think it depends upon how good he is.
I don't really know.
Yeah. And
second round.
I think probably what he's at least done is, when people open up doors in relationships, and he wants to have a critical kind of, we can be this frank about each other's professions, then I would invite him in on that. And I'd be like I got some comments. You got terrible looking photos in your lobby, and it's not very good on the decor. When I come in here, I feel like I'm in kind of a depressed space. Can you do something to maybe pick this place up, because it's not real cheery?
I don't think I can go back now. Because
we're going to have this kind of real relationship.
Yeah, for sure. We're not going
If we're going to
back.
have a real relationship, this is the kind of relationship we have. So you want to be blunt with me about my job. Let me be blunt with you about yours.
It's just annoying. You're trying to get a little relief, and then I'm getting an air check from the chiropractor.
Well, it's just, here's the thing with a lot of people. People think that their critical comments are one-sided. So to me, if you want to open up that door and we're going to be critical of each other, then, hey, this is a two-way street. So if you want to dish it out, then, hey, you've opened the door. I'm going to have some comments about your thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, he said things about me. I don't want to think it was just about you and Virgin. He had not...
But still, I think that's fair, but you're right. When you got somebody that's working on your back, it might start to affect the quality that he gives you.
Well,
so maybe you don't want to go back to that
Well,
guy.
that's going to make me all tensed up. Now I'm like, what's this guy talking about? This isn't relaxing me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why would people even say that about their patient? You're there to fix my back, not to talk about my job.
I had a tax person do this before. As they're doing my taxes, talking about what they did not like about the show and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't go back to him either.
Well, there you go. You're talking about real versus fake grass. I think a lot of people agree that the real is the way to go. In fact, Nick, Denny's buddy from Best Buy, he said, what is Kevin talking about? He's no yard man. We're in South Florida. Rarely do we get that long with no rain. The St. Augustine grass is amazingly soft grass, very drought tolerant. Water twice a day for 20 to 30 minutes. He says, Kev doesn't seem like he wants to do the yard work, and I'm guilty. You're right. I do not want to go out there and spend a lot of time dealing with grass. I used to do it. I resodded my backyard, and it still died out, and I'm like, forget this. Jaber would do great caring for his yard. Get a bug yard company that'll fertilize for you when you need to and spray for weeds. And just water it a couple times a day, and you should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I do love being out in my yard, and I would spend a lot of time in there. So, I'm still confused, but thank you for the comment. I love it.
Yeah. So there you go. It seems like a lot of people are going for that. Denny's, have you ruled in? Do you think he goes real or fake grass?
What did you say?
I still lean fake grass. I think that's the preferred choice, because otherwise you have to hire 4 people to take care of your stuff.
I'm going to have to hire people anyway, because I'm going to have all those trees and vegetation back there. Someone's going to have to keep that up.
Yeah, the trees and stuff. But, I mean, you have an entire yard that's going to be late. They have to take care of that, too. You're going to have to get irrigation. Instead of just irrigation around the perimeter.
Irrigation is not cheap. My gosh.
No, it's not.
I can't believe how expensive it is.
No, it's not. It's not. It's living in South Florida, baby. All right. Got some random questions here for you. If you got grounded now as an adult, what would be the worst punishment?
I couldn't eat pizza.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. Take away my vodka. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can't.
I lose my mind.
You can't take away all my adult vices. I mean,
yeah. Oh, it'd be terrible.
Yeah, that would be
yeah, you think about what you do with kids, and you take away their vices, their video games, their phones, things like that. For adults, it's like, oh my gosh.
Oh man, I'd have to get rid of my medical marijuana.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah, you'd have to get rid of your.
Daddy's got to park his bong for a month.
I'd be so bummed out.
Oh my gosh.
You could have any alcohol.
Oh jeez.
I actually think groundings could be worse as an adult than as a kid.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
We call that drying out.
Yeah.
Somebody texted and said, I got too drunk with the boys on the golf course after my wife asked me not to do that, and she grounded me no sex for a month and stuck to it. Okay.
I mean, that'll do it too.
Oh, that's a dangerous place to be. Holding sex. And
You don't think that's a good punishment,
I
huh?
don't think it's healthy. I think it's going to breed resentment in the relationship.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's say you can choose anyone in the world to become friends with. Who would you choose?
Dead or alive?
Well, if they're dead, it's going to be hard to really do a lot. I mean, you can go visit their grave.
Just the corpse?
Yeah.
I can befriend the corpse.
Yeah, you're great friends with that. In fact, I could go befriend any dead person right now, too.
All right, we'll keep them alive. I get it.
I'm great friends with Elvis.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody you could become friends with, who would you choose? I think Adam Sandler would be a great friend. I think Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters would be a great fun friend. Those would probably be two of the guys top of my list.
Yeah, I'd probably go musician too. Somebody that I could bounce some. I mean, as much probably to their dismay, but to bounce off ideas and see what their creative process is.
I would love to be friends with the lead singer of Weezer, Rivers Cuomo.
Okay.
I really love that cat. I just not only with his music, I like his philosophy on life. I think he's got
You can sit and talk about some deep stuff.
Yeah, he's got a really unique head on his shoulders.
Okay. If you could go back in time and witness one event from your family's history, which one would it be? Do you have any big event? Now, I'll tell you, I don't even know what that event would be. My family has always done this weird thing. We do not talk about the drama and trauma that happens. It's like it happens and then no one ever discusses it, and it's eerily weird.
That's so the opposite of my family.
Will never be brought up ever again.
That's crazy.
It's very interesting to watch. I've even seen that. There's like a little bit of like family drama going around now, and nobody's talking about it.
I know families like that. They just do not talk about their drama. And my family, we talked about every piece of drama.
Yeah.
The complete opposite.
So I can only imagine. It's something that I don't even know what it is, but there's definitely something that I would like to see. That would be it. Volunteer to me the biggest piece of family dirt I've ever had, because you would think that we have no skeletons in our closet.
I wouldn't call it family drama, but my dad tells his story about in high school how he was in this kind of like this 3-month long bully fight with this guy named Moon, and they squared off 3 different times, and he always talks about how they fought each other and how there was crowds, and it was like the 1960s, and there was cars around.
Really?
And he always describes this guy named Moon, and I always picture him like a chubby Biff from Back to the Future, because my dad said he had this crew cut. And he always tells this story, and I would love to go back and watch it and see what really happened, how it all shook down, how my dad kicked Moon's ass, how Moon kicked my dad's ass.
Okay.
I just would love to hear and see it.
That'd be fun to watch.
That would be.
Okay.
Thinking back, I'd probably go back to, so my father and his brother, my uncle, they set a giant fire in Orlando that caused the whole issue to where they got arrested and everything. The police came out.
No way.
Yeah, well, so back then, it was, they had big woods, and they would go out there and do bonfires and chill out there.
Okay.
And one time it got out of control. In fact, it's super built up now, but it was back where there's a Hialeah up in Orlando, I think right off of Cimarron, and it was right in the woods that used to be there, and now it's a giant shopping center, but before that it was woods, and my father got in trouble. It's a famous story about my grandfather disciplining both boys by making them come to work with him and work on the line as like punishment.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he worked at a food processing factory.
No doubt. Okay.
So he made, as their punishment, they had to clock in full hours over there.
All right. Look at you.
Probably see that, just because, that story got talked about almost every reunion.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see the fire, because the story makes the fire sound like it took out all of Orlando.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the local papers hyperbole.
In Kevin's life, I would like to see you. I'd love to watch you beat up that newspaper stand when you got arrested. I'd love to see just what happened.
Oh, when I came out of the bar, drop kicked it into the street. Yeah.
I'd love to see how that
In
went.
my mind, it was a really impressive kick. Like that newspaper box flew about halfway across the street, but it probably only tipped over.
Yeah, you definitely tell some stories about Logan, Ohio. I would love to go back and watch that as a movie.
No, you're right. Yeah, we have some good stuff if we can only put it to film. All right, final one here. Random question. When would you be born if you could choose to be born at another time? I've actually been thinking about this, and I'd make an argument that I was born at the right time. Because, one, I feel like I'm really, in my lifetime, the advancement in technology has exceeded what has happened throughout tens of thousands of years in humanity. And honestly, looking at the fact that it was 115 degrees in Portland yesterday is kind of horrifying. So I'm a little scared of the future. So I feel like I kind of slid into a really good pocket here on planet Earth where I got to see enough advancement, but I'm not going to see the nasty
demise.
effects of what the technology and the advancements have brought. So I actually would not pick any other time. I don't know. Do you guys feel another time would have been better to be born?
I think I would have done well in the 70s as a young adult. 1970s, I think I would like to go back. For some reason, I like
your
that.
outfit, your clothes.
Yeah, I just like the look. I love the outfits.
The music.
It was
the movies.
It was a goofy time. It was right before even the goofy 80s. And then because I would love to see what it was like, I would love to go back just to see what Earth was like during the dinosaur period. I know it would die very quickly, but I would love just to see what it was like.
Okay.
Oh, I want it.
Denny's, you got a time period?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain ones I want to see just because out of curiosity. But, I mean, they'd be terrible to live in. Like, the medieval times would be so rough to live in.
But
you
it'd be
wonder
cool
if
to walk around for about 3 hours.
Yeah, just to see if it really is like how the more movies portray them.
How long before I die?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
within an hour.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the dinosaur thing. You hang out there for 3 hours, but I know I'm going to die, but I want to see what it's like.
You just want to see what it's like. It would be probably one of those. But if I was to go realistic and wanting to survive, I'd probably, funny enough, it would probably be like the early 60s being born.
Yeah.
Into, my teens going into the 70s.
Me
I think
too.
would be perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dirty hippies want
Look
the
at you
70s.
together.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong.
I agree, man.
Before the technological boom, so you could be there for it.
Yep, I'm with you, man.
All right, Camp KVJ, we got John on here from Palm Springs. You've got some grandkids you want to get the hookup for, John?
Absolutely. They're going to be stoked about this. They're going to love it.
Yeah, these are prime ages here for Rapids Water Park. How old are your grandkids, John?
16 and 12.
Okay, very cool. Well, you got a 4-pack of tickets for them to not only the Rapids, but also the South Florida Science Center and Aquarium, okay?
Oh, that's awesome. Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem, bud. Hopefully they have a great time out there, and you got another hookup tomorrow for Camp KVJ. Free tickets to some of the coolest stuff going on in South Florida. Got some celebrity birthdays today. Can you believe Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls is 43 today?
I can't believe it, Kevin.
What the heck,
I
man?
can't believe it.
Wow. Richard Lewis. He was on Curb Your Enthusiasm a good bit.
He's a big part of Curb.
He's 74 today. And Gary Busey still can't cry a real tear is 77.
I just saw he was in something weird and goofy. I forget what it was, but I remember watching, oh yeah, this is a Busey project.
Still doing it, yeah. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we were talking about this. Also, I got one more birthday here. This is Shawnee. Happy 30th birthday. Pookie, I hope it's a good one. Love, Mom. Susan sent that in. Got a birthday request? Mail at kvjshow.com. Fun family secrets. A lot of times parents hold on to them. Maybe till way late. Maybe it's grandparents. What secrets did your parents wait to tell you until later on in life? A lot of people are finding out interesting paternity things now because all those DNA tests that you can take.
Oh yeah, those DNA tests make some people go, you know what? I don't believe it. I think it's wrong. I'm never doing it again.
Yeah.
They don't like what they find out.
And as a parent, too, there's a lot of times you're partying past. You don't want your kids to know just how wild and crazy you were. In fact, I saw that Snooki is telling her elementary school-age kids that she was an actress on the Jersey Shore and that it wasn't a reality show.
She's out of her mind. Come on. Her kids are going to find out the truth eventually.
Well, she said she'll eventually tell them the truth, but right now she's trying to say, I was playing a role. Your mommy was acting. That wasn't my real life.
Yeah, Snooki did want to try to not get as crazy.
Yeah.
She wanted to look like she
They
kept
told
it
me to
together.
act like a hot mess, and then I was that drunk. Mommy wasn't drunk. That's not booze.
Look, Snooki, that's what brought you to the dance.
It is. So that's what she's holding on to until later on in life. So what are the secrets that your parents waited to tell you until later on in life? We're asking on the KVJ Show Facebook page. One of the comments we got was that they were married to other people when I was conceived. I was a drunken cruise hookup mistake that had happened.
Did they stay together after?
They had an affair. Yeah, they've been married 38 years now, so it worked out. But they were married to other people. They met on a cruise. They hooked up, conceived this kid. Didn't say anything because they had obviously dropped bombshells on their real life that they had to get out of a couple marriages. But by the time she was old enough to know what was going on, she had no idea.
Wow, drunk on the... Wow.
That's quite a revelation, huh?
Yeah, dude. Imagine if your mom told you that.
I wouldn't even believe it. Yeah, at this
right
age, be like, wait a minute. So you were married to another dude and you cheated on your husband with my dad? And then you guys got divorced wow. Somebody else said my mom confessed that she was married before my dad for like 2 years and then got a divorce. So there's a lot of that going on. My dad waited until he was well into his, quote, golden years before telling me what he really did while in the military.
What did he do?
That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, come on. You can't give us, you got to give us part 2.
I know there are parents that are like that, and I hate that. I've seen that a couple of times with people that, like my father-in-law was in Vietnam, and I kind of want to hear some of those stories. They don't necessarily volunteer them. And then I had another girl I dated, and her dad was a lieutenant colonel, and he worked on one of those missile bases with the silos where we had the nukes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was very tight-lipped about anything. He would not talk about.
Well, what if somebody in the military that they've been over and have done stuff, they bring up their time over there. If they open up the door of them talking about stuff, of them being in war, don't you think that you have the right at that point to say, hey, or not the right, but I feel comfortable enough to say, so tell me about what went on over there.
I think it's two different things. I think if it's about your own, what you witnessed in battle, you can say all that stuff, but I think for a lot of people, it really is too scarring that they don't want to relive it, and so they don't want to talk about it for that reason. I think when you work for one of the missile bases and you're in command like he was, that you can't say anything because you will be tried for treason and you'll be talking about life in prison.
Yeah.
And I don't think that ever expires even on your deathbed.
Well, I can see if something terrible, you went through something terrible, you don't want to talk about that. But some people do, I feel, if they're opening up a little bit.
So I don't push it for that reason.
Yeah, I hear you, but
I'm all of a sudden to snap back into a flashback, and
I'm
it's all
so
because of me.
into it. I want to hear it though.
Yeah. Somebody else texted in and said, yeah, my mom admitted to me that she cheated on my dad with his best friend, and I am actually his best friend's daughter.
Whoa.
His best friend's daughter. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on here, and you find out like right at the end. Do you want to know? Would you want to know, or would you rather have your parents die with the secret?
No, I would want to know the truth. You got to find the truth, even though how painful it may be. You need it. You need it.
Okay. Somebody else said my mom had always told me that she was a virgin until she got married, but I found out that she was actually pregnant with me when my parents got married.
I think there's a lot of lies like that. Oh yeah, me and your father got married.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Talking about the secret that your parents waited to tell you until later on in life. Kind of right about that military thing. Somebody texted in and said, yeah, my dad was military back in the day and he worked at S4 on Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
And he still will not tell me the truth. He said, only on my deathbed.
Oh, he's saying, we have aliens.
Yeah, that's where I guess they can finally say something. Somebody else revealing the family secret said, I found out a secret about my grandfather when he passed away 5 years ago. He was an associate for the Cleveland crime family and had ties to the mob. He was a gun runner and an enforcer for years before getting out to raise his kids.
An enforcer? What does that mean?
I think that means that you kill people, right?
Bang, bang?
Yeah.
Damn.
I would think so. Absolutely.
Do you look at Gramps a little bit differently?
Yeah, Gramps is a badass.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Somebody else said, my parents were supposed to distribute inheritance from my grandfather to myself and my siblings, but instead they used it to buy a vacation house, and we just found out 10 years later. Yeah. How do you react when your parents spent your inheritance? It wasn't from them. It was from the grandparents.
Yeah, that's pretty...
I'm a little bit like, that's not cool. I mean, that wasn't your money to spend.
Oh, for a lot of people, they hold a grudge. Even if they act like it's, oh, no, it's okay. They hold a grudge with that one.
And maybe they're like, well, you'll get this one day, this beach house. Be like, I didn't want a beach house.
Well, I raised you.
Yeah. Somebody else said, yeah, my mom had another brother, so I had another uncle that I never knew about. Started talking about him in her final days when she was losing her mind. And she started mumbling about him. Like, wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit worried about that, too. That if you get to that like dimension stuff later on in life, you might start saying some stuff, and then your family completely hates you right before you die.
Totally, that's such a fear of mine.
That's why I just want to die by myself. Like I don't know what I would be saying.
I need to die just in the woods or a motel room.
Yeah,
by
I want to
myself.
go someplace and be quiet.
Because I have a feeling I might say a few things.
I don't need that heat. All right, we got some more drama for you. This is from the social media stuff. If you ever see a funny thread, do a screenshot, send it to us. We'll do a recreation of it here. Got a couple different posts. This one has Matt. He's venting about love. I will play the role of Matt in this. I'll have Jaybird be Stacy, and Denny's, you can be Kristen here.
All right, let's really give a good performance here.
Love isn't easy. Not a good day. Man, do I need a drink.
Ruining another relationship. Did not see that coming.
Stacy, you're just jealous that he chose me over your fugly ass.
A 26-year-old with no job and a stupid goatee. I don't know how I'll live without him.
Hey, my goatee isn't stupid. My goatee isn't stupid. Here's one that's got James. I'll play the role of James. Jaybird, you can be Leah in this, and Denny's, you will be Chris.
All right,
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, I just wanted to state officially that I no longer find Leah sexually attractive.
Here comes Chris. I must know the story behind this.
Well, she kept farting on me.
Look, dude, people fart. It happens.
Yeah, but not at this level and frequency. It's like parking next to a toxic waste dump.
Go kill yourself, James.
Listen, Leah, if I wanted to be with something that farted nonstop, I'd get a dog.
Instead, you messed with the wrong bitch, and this isn't over.
Not scared, Leah. I'd smell you coming anyway.
Oh.
Wow, Aaliyah's kind of gross.
Leah really kind of didn't come out looking well in
No,
this
she
post.
did not.
Did not come out looking well. This one is a post from Marina, putting a Tony on blast for the profile picture. Jaybird, you can be Maria. I will play the role of Linda. And Denny's, you got double duty here. You're going to be playing the role of Don and then Tony. Two different dudes.
Got it.
So we need a couple different characters out of you here. All right, Jaybird, you got it with Maria.
Wow, Tony, what a profile picture. Was thinking about checking your references regarding the roof repair, but with a picture of you flipping the bird, you're definitely out.
You may want to look at your own profile picture too, LOL.
That picture's helped me win several area pageants, as you may know. Plus, my platform of organ donation resulted in thousands of sponsored dollars. Don't need your amateur opinion.
But you're standing there in lingerie, all angry about someone flipping the bird, pot, meat, kettle.
I admit I was a little chunky, still retaining fluid after my transplant. So thanks for the earlier LOL. It's real funny. Plus the middle finger profile picture on a business page. Really?
Nobody's laughing at your medical condition, and nobody cares if you were Miss Sweet Corn Fiesta.
Hey, look, if Maria wants to show off her old YouTube top picture, it really doesn't compare to a business using a picture of a middle finger in their logo. And honestly, I thought slut shaming was over.
Well, aren't you the woke one there, Dawn? Wasn't slut shaming, but I was pointing out how both pictures just cry for attention.
Here comes Tony. Sorry, y'all. I had to jump in to explain my business picture. It is a middle finger, but when you click on the picture, you can see my stand up to cancer frame. I'm flipping off cancer.
What time can you come by to look at my job? Hashtag foot and meat mouth. Hashtag I'm an idiot.
Okay, he's flipping off cancer. That's what he's doing. He's not flipping you off.
Good read, Denny.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, look at Denny's pulling out multiple roles there today, showing his depth in acting.
I've been practicing.
It's impressive stuff.
Great job, kid.
Am I the jerk? Lots of emails we got coming in here. In fact, you can send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, or you can even use the mic drop feature like what Stephanie did Got a lot of room here. She's sending us this about a topic that we had on our show last week. Want to know if she is the jerk.
Stephanie from Deerfield here, wondering if I am a jerk or not. Today's question about the kids going on the honeymoon to Disney made me want to write my own question. My honeymoon is in October. I'm going on a 6-day cruise. We've got a bunch of family and friends coming on the cruise with us. I purposely paid extra to get one of those better suites, cabana suites that has like a 21 and up floor with an extended balcony to where I can have a little distance away from the rest of my family. Even though it is a family thing, it's also still my honeymoon. And my uncle called our booking agent and asked specifically for the cabin directly next to mine. Am I a jerk or not for thinking it is weird that my uncle on the entire boat purposely asked for the room next to the two people that are on their honeymoon? I think it's a little weird. I'm probably going to be trying to make a baby that week. I don't want to worry about my uncle that I see once a year hearing me in the cabin next door. He thinks I'm a jerk because it's a big boat. I requested that they change their cabin or I was canceling the whole cruise because I thought that that was really weird. Am I a jerk or not?
Okay, she's throwing down the gauntlet. That's not just somebody that's venting. She is saying you need to cancel your room, get another room, or I'm canceling the whole cruise. Is she a jerk for making that power play move?
I get that she's annoyed, but to cancel the whole cruise because I get why she's annoyed, but I don't think you should cancel the cruise. I think you're being a bit dramatic.
I think trying to find the humor in this and saying, hey, look, you know what? I could be a little bit of a freak in the sheets and you might hear some stuff you don't want to hear. It could be kind of awkward, especially if you're on your balcony.
Well,
so, hey, would you mind just to give us a little bit more privacy? I think if you go that far, you're doing that. And then he becomes a jerk if he refuses to get another cabin if he can.
Yeah,
he may just try to be close to you.
I just think life is too short, and there's things you shouldn't get so upset. You're burning the whole house down when you cancel the entire trip.
Right.
Now everyone's affected by that because it's not going 100% your way.
It's understandable that you don't want to have a room next to him.
I get it.
You're right in that. You're right, I think, even in asking. But yeah, throwing down that gauntlet is probably going a little too far. I back it off.
It's too much.
Yeah. I got another email here. We'll keep this person anonymous, but they want to know if they're the jerk for their Father's Day post. It said in the email to mail@kvjshow.com. So I run the marketing department at the company I work for, and I'm responsible for sending out all the company's email blasts to our customers. Well, on Father's Day, I'd put together an email that said, Happy Father's Day to all fathers and father figures. No other wording was included in the email, and there was a simple stock photo of a pile of ties, like neckties. I thought this was a more inclusive way to include families that don't necessarily have fathers. Anyone can be a father figure. In my eyes, brothers, uncles, family, friends, even a mother can be a father figure. Or so I thought. I got a very angry email response from a transgender woman telling me how offended that they were at the email because it perpetuated gender roles and enforced toxic masculine gender traits. My coworkers that saw it had a laugh, but I'm still stuck wondering if the way I phrased the email was offensive in any way. Am I the jerk? Well, the first thing here is you're maybe looking at this and you're trying to learn from it or maybe get something from this. Should you have done something different? Now, that is debatable. Are you the jerk for doing it? I don't think that you're a jerk because I don't think you meant anything jerky by it. In fact, you tried to intentionally go into this and post something up that wasn't going to be offensive and was going to be inclusive. Maybe you learned a lesson that in the eyes of some transgenders that the tie or saying that, hey, you're going to be wearing a tie if you're a father figure is got to be tied to it. Maybe you can walk away with that. But again, I always just talk to people about their approach and that, you know, if you want to change somebody's mind, I think taking the softer hand rather than the smack across the face about you need to do better is not the best way to approach these situations.
When you shout you need to do better to somebody, they are, and not everybody,
they're trying.
But a lot of people are going to get defensive.
Right.
And I don't know if that's the best approach. Are you trying to fix something and change it for a better thing? By saying do better, it kind of comes off like you know better and I don't, and I feel bad about myself now because now
people don't like to be called out and shamed.
It just puts you in a defensive stance.
Yeah. Try with empathy. Go with empathy, and maybe they can empathize to your situation and get your change that way. The person who sends the email, I would say that you're not the jerk. And then I think you're doing the right thing. You're doing some soul searching, and maybe is a little bit of a lesson learned that there's going to be some people that are going to be sensitive to that. How many? I don't know. And keep in mind, anything you ever put out there anymore, somebody will find something to be offended by.
Once again, I think we are only on this planet for so long, and we should be careful about all of the things that we get so mad about.
Yeah.
That's really how I feel.
Yeah, but if anybody's got any insight on that, we're all here to learn. 877-979-WRMF. Got an email here for Am I the Jerk for being a cart thief? Says, I was shopping this weekend. I forgot to grab a cart when I got to the store. I saw an empty one in the produce section, so I put my stuff in that one and I kept on shopping. I didn't see anybody around. A woman then came up and started yelling at me saying that I stole her cart. I told her I was sorry, but there was nothing in the cart and nobody was near it, so I took it. She told me I was rude and lazy and then just kept on walking.
Look, in the grocery store, it's a battle. Things are going to happen and get weird.
It is. Are they a jerk for being a cart thief?
You got to get your own cart.
You kind of probably should. I get what you're trying to say there.
You can't, if it's someone else's cart and you take it, you can't take someone else's cart. Although I've taken someone else's cart on accident.
Right, you just walked over to cart. And...
I thought the bamboo, I thought it was in a discount cart. So I started grabbing this woman's cart thinking, oh, this is discount bamboo. This is awesome. Because she just had bamboo in there. So I'm walking away with the cart. She goes, you're taking my cart, man.
I've done that where I grabbed somebody else's cart and I'm walking down like 2 aisles later and I look down and realize this isn't my cart. And then you just do that thing where you quietly kind of like snake away and just walk out of the store.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, am I the jerk for kicking my father-in-law out? My father-in-law is very flirtatious with all women, including me, which explains why he's divorced from my mother-in-law. I've told my husband that he needs to run interference on this, but he's afraid to stand up to his dad. Well, I don't pull punches. So as a result of the pandemic, my father-in-law wound up in a financial pinch and needed to move in with us. One night, after a few beers, he started rubbing my shoulders. I tried not to make a scene, but I told my husband he needed to step in. He did not, and last weekend it happened again. So I called my father-in-law out on it, and I told him that he was a disgusting predator. He had been drinking again and got back into my face when I said that. Well, I told him to pack his stuff and get out. My husband's telling me that there is no way he's turning his father out onto the streets. I told my husband that he can leave with him. I'm sorry, but I will not put up with this in my own home. Some think I am overreacting. I think my reaction is spot on. Am I the jerk?
You are not the jerk. Sorry. The father-in-law is being a drunk, creepy person. That's your house. You don't stand for that crap. Once again, life is too short. You don't let people paw all over you in your own home, especially your father-in-law.
Right.
Good Lord.
Not cool.
No, kick his ass out.
Not cool. We got your back. Well, Jay Bird, we did not hit the mark on all of our rulings for Am I the Jerk? The one that people are really getting on us for is Stephanie from Deerfield. She's the one that had booked the cruise, and then the uncle booked the cabin right next to hers, and she said either you change your cabin or I'm canceling the entire cruise. And we thought that maybe that statement was a little too dramatic, that maybe you just talk to them and be like, look, man, I mean, this is just going to be awkward where you get another place. But people are saying, I have never missed Virginia more. It is weird that her uncle booked the room across from her. She has every right to ask them to move.
We said that. We totally say that.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
We just think it's too over the top to cancel the whole thing.
Another comment says she's definitely not being dramatic. They wouldn't be going on a cruise if it weren't for her wedding. She doesn't have to take them with her on her honeymoon cruise, so the uncle is way overstepping. Stephanie is not a jerk. Her uncle is the jerk. What a dumbass. So.
We didn't call Stephanie a jerk. We just, again, said we don't think you should, burn down the whole thing.
Yeah. So apparently we missed the mark a little bit on that.
Well, maybe if I talked like Virginia, it would have been better.
There you go. A couple other ones. Somebody said, my opinion on the Father's Day email is the transgender person needs to calm down a bit. The acceptance movement is something so new and foreign. The world is adjusting to it. Your anger doesn't align people to your cause. You only breed anger with anger. And one other thought on the call them outs or the am I the jerk? Seriously, her husband did nothing as his father was creeping on his wife. WTF, man. Yeah, kick the father out and the husband can go too until he apologizes to his wife and stands up to his dad. So there you go. Those are the thoughts for Am I the Jerk? Get your emails to us, mail at kvjshow.com. We'd be happy to handle them anytime on a Tuesday. And you can even use the 97.9 WRMF app just like Stephanie in Deerfield did. Big story still in South Florida is what is happening with the rescue mission at the Champlain Towers South in Surfside. The latest number I had seen as of the start of the show this morning, 11 people have been confirmed dead. As many as 150 people remain unaccounted for. Boy, it looks like there is going to be some issues and people are going to have to speak up. There was an engineer that warned in 2018 that there was evidence of major structural damage below the pool deck. The consultant included photos of what he wrote about with abundant cracking and crumbling in the underground parking garage of the 12-story building. He also said the waterproofing below the pool deck and entrance drive was failing, and his report stated failure to replace the waterproofing in the near future will cause the extent of the concrete deterioration to expand exponentially. But still, the residents were told by the Surfside town officials in a 2018 meeting that the building was not in bad shape. Miami-Dade County officials have now begun to audit all structures, 4 stories and taller in the county that are approaching the 40-year recertification mark, along with 10 buildings that recently completed the process and 14 buildings in unincorporated Miami-Dade. So they got to look at that. And boy, some of these stories that are coming out of this, there's one about 40-year-old Cassandra Cassie Bilodeau Stratton, who had called her husband, 66-year-old Mike Stratton, in a panic early Thursday morning, telling him that the pool, which was normally visible from the couple's condo, had simply just disappeared. She said in its place, a sinkhole. And she continued to explain how the building was shaking, and with that, the call cut off and the line went dead. It was 1:30 a.m.
Yikes.
And she is still missing. So that's just another one of the unbelievable stories coming out of this.
That footage is horrifying. When you've seen the actual fall.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. So, I mean, our hearts go out. There have been considerable donations and the brave people that are down there working on the rescue missions as they continue to happen. Our hats are off to you because that is not an easy situation by any means. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, I need to get somebody on the line to play a fun game. Yesterday on the show, a lot of people had comments about Virginia's offer that she'd made to you. She was drinking on Saturday night when she said this to you, Jay Bird.
So, what if I was your surrogate?
I think she just got confused. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know. I mean,
I know I was confused at least.
I know you were, yeah. I think she meant what she said.
Why would you want to be my surrogate?
I don't want to be your surrogate, but...
How did we start talking about this?
Like, I don't want you to be childless on this earth.
Oh, wow. Here she goes.
What are you going to do?
You want to be my surrogate?
I think I should.
Wow. Can't wait to have this conversation tomorrow. Because the offers still stand after she sobered up. Had a couple days to think about it.
You're right. I'm anxious to see where she stands now, too.
I mean, imagine how amazing that would be for the show if Virginia was your surrogate.
Look, they always say a baby's good for the ratings book.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. I'm all for it, just for the record. So coming up here in a couple of minutes, I need somebody to play this fun game. It's called Virginia Drunk or Slow. Last week, somebody had sent us some audio because you have speed features when you listen to our podcast, and it had accidentally been slowed down by 0.5%, and we all sounded like we were drunk. So we've taken some audio of Virginia actually drunk, and we paired it up against some audio where we took a sober Virginia but slowed down.
Okay.
Can you tell the difference?
All right.
Some of my absolute favorite moments from the KVJ Show is audio of Virginia drunk. Thankfully, we've gotten a lot of good drunk Virginia audio, like the classic Dolphins montage. The one day on a Sunday afternoon, I was driving around and I turned on the radio station and I heard a very hammered Virginia somehow on a microphone, and I couldn't believe how long she was talking for.
Yeah, Sunday they don't let you talk too long.
Not typically. I'm like, clearly none of the bosses are listening to this. So I called in immediately to the station. I'm like, you have to start recording all of this. And then we played it back that following day, and it's some of the best audio I've ever heard in my life. If you've never heard it, here's just a quick little taste of what Virginia was doing on the radio that Sunday afternoon, live from Hard Rock Stadium.
Got Jimmy in the house, got Drinking Lincoln in the house. What a great day to come check out some Dolphins football. We would love for you to stop by our table and say hi. We're going to be out here all...
I mean, she's hiccuping as she's talking.
I mean, it's
and Afternoon. Okay, I've had a few rum and cokes, I'm not gonna lie. Just a couple. Oh, this is really like a struggle for me to like say.
I would love to know what those Dolphin players were thinking.
They had to be like, this is so unprofessional. This woman is completely hammered. I love it, though. Welcome to KVJ. So what we've got here is a fun new game. It is Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow.
This is I'm very excited to play along with this.
Yeah, is this audio Virginia actually regular speed but drunk, or is it audio of Virginia sober but the audio is slowed down? We've got Susan on here to play along from Lake Worth Beach. Hello, Susan.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right. Welcome to the world premiere of Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow. This is going to be a fun game. You ready for this?
I am.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This is the first clip. Can you tell me, is this Virginia Drunk or is this Virginia Slow?
So many, but back in the day, I used to think it was funny to walk into the frat house and challenge a chug contest. They love to do the upside down keg stand.
Okay.
I mean, this is a tough game.
Okay. Wow. Susan, what do you think about the first one here? Is that Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow?
I think she's hammered.
You think she's hammered? You're going to go Virginia Drunk on that.
Yeah, I think she's hammered too.
Yeah.
That's Virginia Drunk.
Yeah.
That's Virginia Drunk. Okay, good job on that. Okay, let's try another one here. Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow? Okay, what do you think about this clip?
If you could do a little Pope splash, like when the Pope does his blessing and he just goes dunk, dunk, and he like kind of flicks a bunch of Pope juice on people, that's what you should do with your vinegar on French fries.
All right, maybe this is easy.
Okay, what do you think about that, Susan? Is that Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow?
I think she's slow.
You think we slow down the audio on that? That is correct.
Yeah, Virginia's voice changes when she drinks. She does. She kind of has an Urkel thing going.
That's kind of a different thing.
Kind of Mars in the man.
Okay, let's see if we can make this challenging. Here is the next clip. Is this Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow, Susan?
Yeah, what's the fine line between, okay, am I going to let somebody talk to me like that in the grocery store line? Am I going to stand up for myself, or am I just going to take it? And if it would have just been a fender bender and everybody would have been cool,
Yep.
there would have been no words exchanged.
Okay. What do you think about that, Susan? Is that Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow?
I think she's slow.
Gonna go slow. You were right again. Right again. Yeah, Susan is acing this quiz here.
So is the chat room. They're crushing it.
Okay, here we go. Another clip. Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow?
What you goes against you goes against me.
Oh, boy.
A shot against you is a shot against me.
What do you think about that, Susan? Is that Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow?
She's drunk.
And angry.
Drunk
Don't forget
You're
angry.
right. You got to add that to it, because you're right. When she's drinking, she's even kind of angry in some of the audio we had from Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is for a perfect score in Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow. Susan, which is Virginia's condition in this clip?
Well, it's the end of the night. I'm wearing a crawfish costume, and I'm carrying another crawfish costume. But it was so fun. Thank you to everybody that came out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? He's trying to whisper, but it's so loud.
Oh, gosh.
Not only does she sound drunk, she sounds exhausted. She sounds like she needs to take a 9-day nap.
Susan, where are you going with that one for a perfect score? Is that Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow?
She is profoundly inebriated.
Profoundly inebriated. That is correct. 5 for 5, Susan. You came right out of the chute. You aced. Virginia Drunk or Virginia Slow. Thank you so much for playing along.
All right. All right.
That might be easier than Denny's or Animal.
That last clip just sounds like she is running out of batteries, but she's still trying to Give it a little bit to the audience.
Just a little bit more.
Well, it's the end of the night. I'm wearing a crawfish costume, and I'm carrying another crawfish costume. But it was so fun. Thank you to everybody that came out.
All right. There you go. No Virginia in on this today. She'll be back with us tomorrow. So it's myself, Jaybird, Denny's, and Suits in the Raise Your Hand poll. You can watch it on YouTube. Go find the KVJ Show. We're on KVJ TV right now. We'll give you the percentages of which of the KVJ Show members in studio with us today answered yes to this. You raise your hand if this applies to you.
Yeah, let's get deep.
We require honesty here. Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever been held back from a fist fight. Somebody had to hold you back. Let me at him. Let me at him.
Let me at him. Hold me back.
No, hold me back. Hold me back.
I've had the opposite.
I've had the
I
opposite.
have too. I have
get
too.
'em.
Yeah.
that guy.
Somebody had to pull somebody off of me. Yeah, I've gone the opposite. Okay, anybody raising their hand? Oh, boy, we're just a very sad set of men in here.
We're quite
Not one
pa-
person is raising their hand.
We're quite passive.
At 0% for the record. Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been caught with a fake ID. Ever been caught with a fake ID? Raise your hand. Okay, we have got 80%. 3 out of 4 have said yes to that. All right, raise your hand if you have sent nude photos. That would be showing off your naughty parts to somebody. Raise your hand if you've done that. 50%, 2 out of 4 are saying yes, they have done that and sent nudes.
Did they send them to each other?
There's the twist.
Okay, raise your hand if you've ever had sex with 2 different people on a single day. Raise your hand if you have done that. Okay, 2 out of 4. 50% are doing that. And raise your hand if you have paid for sex. Anybody here paid for sex? It could be even any kind of exchange, not necessarily money. You could have exchanged something else. Raise your hand.
Like a
Lasagna?
Pizza?
Could be pizza. Remember, there was that one lady that got busted. She offered a hamburger.
It better be a good burger.
For real.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Nobody is raising their hand to that. Okay. All right. Well, on the After the Show podcast coming up here today, we will go ahead and answer some of those questions as to who did what and get the stories behind them. You can check that out also on YouTube, and it's also on our WRMF app. We also put all of our podcasts up on Spotify, so you can check that out there as well. Got an email here. What do you think about this? He says mature adults stay friends with their exes. It says, I actually cannot understand why my boyfriend still catches up with his ex. They split 3 years ago. They still catch up for coffee every now and again, and it kills me. I can't help but be really annoyed about it. I've never met her. She also has a new partner, and he says there's nothing going on. He says that he prides himself on still being able to be friends with all of his exes. He claims it shows that he's a mature adult. How does a secure and mature female handle this?
I'm old school, so you're probably asking the wrong person. You're an ex for a reason. You know, there's certain things you probably just need to stay away from if you're in a relationship and someone else is insecure about you having coffee with your ex. I get why you would be insecure. And let's stop acting like people aren't insecure. Everyone's pretty much insecure about something.
Sure. I mean, there are a lot of people that cheat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cheating going on in the world.
Even if it's not about cheating, it's more about respect. I mean, yeah, there's a chance you're not going to cheat, and I get that. We can just be friends, but it don't feel good. And I want, if we're going to be in a relationship, I want this to be a free-flowing, worried-free. I'm not going to be insecure about you going out to coffee with your ex. I think that's fair to ask.
Here's what I would tell you. If you're in a relationship and you want to be friends with your ex, you have to include the person you're in the partnership with into that relationship. They need to come in, meet them, get to know them, feel comfortable with them at the very least, and you need to get their blessing to say, okay, if you're going to have something, I'm going to meet this person, my ex, alone for coffee.
that really is not a good situation to put yourself in if you cherish the current relationship you're in. If you want to bring your partner along with you and they've got their partner and you can all be friends and say, look, we just realized we were not good in a relationship, but we're great friends and we can be that way. You need to make sure that your partner that you're currently with is with you in that.
And also, too, your partner might not want to be friends with your ex, and that's okay, too.
Yeah. Okay, so
Walls Pennington's out.
What do you think? People calling in saying, yeah, I had a problem with that. Like Ryan, he said, yeah, that's the reason why we split. My ex was talking with her ex behind my back, and he was in jail. Hurt me beyond belief. He was also getting out and then went back to get my stuff at her place and found out that that he had moved in with her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Your gut serves you well, my friend.
Yeah, and then they lay on that whole thing, like, oh, we're just friends.
No, well, we don't live in a perfect world, so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Other people saying, yeah, it's probably not the best idea to remain friends with your ex. However, my husband knows that I still buy weed from my ex. Are you allowed to hang with your ex if it's just to buy weed?
I'd still not like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how those transactions can go.
And there are people saying, too, that, look, I'm very good friends with my ex-wife. We were married for 8 years, but we were better friends than we were together, and I get that. It is tough, though, when you get into a new relationship and they're not comfortable with it. That's why I'm saying you got to try to make your current partner comfortable with your relationship.
Only a Sith lives in absolutes, and I agree. There's going to be some people that can totally do this.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be one of those people.
Greg's got a comment here from Lake Worth Beach. What do you want to say, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds a little suspicious. I mean, if your girlfriend or your partner does not want you to be talking with your ex and you're out there having coffee dates and doing all that, it just sounds a little suspicious, and possibly that maybe he's keeping her as a backup plan.
There are some people that absolutely, definitely do that. And what they're telling you is they just don't, they don't feel it. Now, yeah, sometimes people can be too overly sensitive and jealous, and that's not attractive. But, yeah, a lot of times that concern is justified.
You're not a crazy person for making a big deal that your boyfriend is going out with his ex-girlfriend to have coffee. Say it out loud. You're not crazy.
Well, it feels like they're still working on developing a relationship, especially when you're not included.
You're not crazy.
Yeah, you're not crazy. So that's our thought on that. Ever got a situation you want to run it past the KVJ Show? Send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah, look, so many people on meth. Ow.
Well, I was telling you about this cat yesterday in the Whacked Out News. His name is Bill Nelson. He's the new head of NASA. I think you're going to love him, Jay Bird. He's a former astronaut himself. He was in the Florida House, also served in Congress a little bit, and he looked at that report we were talking about yesterday that the Pentagon issued, the declassified report revealing that the U.S. has no idea what is behind the 144 UFOs spotted by American forces. And after reviewing that, he says we are not alone in the universe from what he is reading. He stated that even the most advanced enemy could not account for recent UFO encounters.
Yeah, there's a lot of people speaking up that there's this alien federation. You're going to start hearing more of that.
Really?
An alien federation. A galactic alien federation that the American officials have actually sat down and talked with aliens before.
Wow. I'd love to hear more about that.
I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah. The Pentagon's report leaves more questions than answers, but Nelson believes that is going to change once the James Webb Space Telescope launches later this year. I guess he believes what we're going to be able to see about the galaxy will answer that question, and we will start seeing other civilizations, the ones that are visiting us.
It feels like it's ramping up, does it not?
It is interesting. Somebody who's jumping back into the game, Neil deGrasse Tyson, He used to tweet about aliens back in 2009, and yesterday he started retweeting some of his greatest hits and adding new ones. His thoughts, especially to Hollywood: if a UFO beams you up, steal a gizmo from the shelf when the aliens aren't looking. Bring that to the lab. You're going to need it to supplement your eyewitness testimony.
I saw some of the other stuff he was talking about, and his whole claim is, why do we only have grainy stuff from that military airplane? That's the best we got. But the one thing I would say, even if you're filming an airplane, it still kind of looks, if you're on the ground and a plane's up in the distance and you try to film it, it still isn't going to come out that great with an iPhone. Even if you zoom it in, it's going to look a little grainy. So it's not that they're not there. Just, when you zoom in, it does look a little grainy.
You wonder when we are going to get some really convincing footage, though, where you're like, wow, look at that.
Or an alien's knuckle bumping a U.S. government official.
Yeah, when do we get that? He also tweeted out, just because you can't figure out how ancient civilizations built stuff doesn't mean they got help from space aliens. And he also tweeted out, if a space alien landed on Earth and demanded, take me to your leader, I wonder how many people would actually take it to their head of state.
He doesn't want to believe, though. I've seen him in interviews. He is quite the UFO alien skeptic. A lot of people of science are.
Okay. Well, what explains this? A 10-pound chunk of ice. Was it from a U.S. or Earth aircraft, or was it the aliens dropping ice on this house in California? It crashed through the roof of this woman's home, landed on the couch where her and her dog always watch TV before bed. Luckily, she wasn't sitting there, or they say it probably would have killed her. So more of this air ice crashing through people's homes. They are looking still for that person, the woman who caused the crash at the Tour de France.
Yeah.
It became a big meme yesterday. If you hadn't seen what she did, she was holding out a sign, very long sign that clipped one of the riders. It caused a huge pileup. And now people were taking the meme where they were cutting her out of it and then putting her behind like a bunch of NASCAR crashes and things like that. Like, she was responsible for that and everything else. The word is this woman is German and she has left the country immediately. So apparently she's out of France and they're still trying to find her because the Tour de France says that they are going to sue the pants off of her when they find out who she is. A woman got arrested in South Dakota on Friday after stealing a tractor and leading the cops on a not-so-high-speed chase. Yeah, that's going to be a tough way to get away if you're on a tractor. There's a man in Iowa that threatened to blow up a McDonald's because the restaurant didn't include dipping sauce for his chicken McNuggets.
Look, I think it was an overreaction, although I get the emotion behind it. Right. Sauce is important, dog.
It's happened to you before, huh?
Yes.
And the rage, right? The rage. You can feel it. A 32-year-old man was accidentally shot in the head in New Hampshire after the bullet fired by his 8-year-old nephew ricocheted while they were shooting chipmunks.
Uh-oh.
The man was injured and expected to recover. It doesn't sound like they're going to do anything with the 8-year-old. It just sounds like that's the way it is. We shoot guns around here, and they're chalking it up as an accident. But you got to watch in New Hampshire. You got 8-year-olds running around with guns. Doesn't sound like it was like a BB gun or a pellet gun either.
2 days, 2 days in the clink, kid.
Dang, it sounds like that kid was firing the heavy stuff. A 7-year-old in Edmonton stole his dad's keys while his dad was sleeping and then crashed the family vehicle. The 7-year-old's joyride through a neighborhood lasted about 10 houses before he hit a neighbor's car, then a tree, then landed the vehicle on its side by a playground. And then, according to the family, he then walked home to tell them. How long is that kid grounded for?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
You're 7 and you did that?
We got a lot of bad kids in the news today.
We do, man. If you think your kid's bad, have they shot you in the head? Have they gone out and driven your car down a street and parked it on its side? If no, then maybe your kid's not that bad. That's just a thought. Boy, this sounds pretty amazing. This is kind of like a movie thing here. The FBI got caught up in the search for a fabled cache of gold bars stolen during the Civil War, worth an estimated $400 million. They say that amount now would be worth hundreds of millions.
Are these the ones that they said they're located in a mountain?
I'm not sure exactly where they are. What had happened was, according to the legend, The gold was either lost or stolen on its way to the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia in 1863. I believe it was gold that President Lincoln had sent to pay troops for their work and things like that. So it was a lot of gold.
It's confirmed that it's lost and it's out there somewhere?
That's the legend is that it turned up missing and it's still a mystery all this time later, and it sounds like a Goonies type of adventure, doesn't it?
I wonder how much legit gold is out there. If you really search all over the country,
these kind of stories.
Where are those? I mean, is the whole entire country depleted of all that stuff, or is there still a ton of it out there and we just haven't found it?
Well, there is enough to believe that it is out there because the FBI applied for a federal warrant in 2018 to seize the gold out of fear that the state of Pennsylvania might take the gold for itself if the feds asked for permission. So they want to go in there because there's maybe like a little bit of a fight. They're going, that's federal gold. That's not state gold. So if you find it, we get to keep it. Finders keepers. The dig, sadly, though, came up empty, and they still have not found it. So is it just...
That's kind of exciting.
A legend, or is there legitimately $400 million worth of Union gold out there somewhere?
Yeah, man. I'd love to know all those answers.
Mm-hmm.
Mysteries of the world.
There's a wedding RSVP card that is going viral. They didn't really pay attention when they printed it up because it offers 3 choices for an entree on this wedding RSVP card. You can choose beef, pork, or child, 12 and under.
Child? Oh, chicken.
No. They meant to say, are you bringing your child? Check that. But they shouldn't have put it along with beef and chicken because it looks like you're ordering up that you want to eat a child 12 or under. So that's fun. And there's a new weight loss product, they say, called Dental Slim that uses magnets to lock your mouth shut so you're forced to stick to a liquid diet. People who have seen this online say it looks like a medieval torture device, and it sounds like the goofiest diet fad of 2021.
It really does. It sounds stupid.
Mm-hmm. And what about this sweet story? There's a woman in Pennsylvania who went to adopt a pet from a shelter and found the dog that she lost 2 years ago.
I love these stories.
And when they let the dog out of the cage, it immediately recognized her, jumped on her, and started giving her kisses, and she said, you're coming home with me.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, how cool is that, huh?
What a story.
That is some good stuff. Yesterday on the show, we're talking about things that you can't explain, and there are so many just crazy stories that are coming out of the tower collapse that happened in Surfside. And one was about these grandparents and their family has received 16 calls, 15 of which happened after the tower collapsed, coming from their landline number. And when they would pick up the phone, there would just be static there. And when they would call the number back, they would just get a busy signal. And like, why is this number continually calling us? Just one of the weird things that, hey, that's just life. There's just things that you cannot explain. So what the heck happened with that? There's a lot of that going on in this world right now with all the UFO talk and everything else that's out there.
There is, and I'm always into weird stuff anyway, doing the Weird and Whatever podcast, but ever since I saw that Zimbabwe story from 1994 about those kids that saw that alien sighting, I have been going through all kinds of weird, unexplained stuff. The Vietnam Bigfoot, got to look into that thing.
Okay.
That one's pretty cool.
Okay. A lot of stuff out there.
There is.
People just can't explain, including Joe, who had sent this to us on the free 97.9 WRMF app. This is something that he had happen to him that he can't explain.
When I was in high school, I had a friend give me his iPod Touch so that I could put music on it. And so I brought it home, and I remember taking a picture of a car. I went and looked at the picture of the car afterwards, and it was the only photo in that iPod Touch. It was a brand new one, so we had nothing on it. And then I put it on the charger and went to sleep. The next morning, I went to go look at the picture that I took, and I noticed there was a new picture on there. And the picture was pitch black. I couldn't see anything. So I emailed it to myself, and a couple days later, I brought it into Photoshop, and I turned the brightness all the way up, kind of messed with it to see if I could find something. And it was a selfie of me and my brother in my room smiling from ear to ear. And to this day, I have no idea how that happened. I don't know if we both sleptwalk or what, but me and him have no recollection of it. And it's one of the craziest stories because when I think of it, it just makes me think, like, how did that happen?
That is
I love
crazy. I mean, a photo like that just appears on the iPod Touch that you had. Like, what explains that? Greg sent us an email, and he said, I heard you guys talking about unexplained things on yesterday's show. I got something in my family we're going through. We all keep waking up at 9:11. It's been going on for the last 6 months, and we can't explain it. We have 7 people who live in our house, and they all keep waking up at 9:11. Sometimes it's just one of us. Sometimes it's all of us. Sometimes it's AM. Sometimes it's PM. But I did a little research, and I've noticed that we aren't the only ones who this has happened to. And I was wondering if anybody listening has also experienced this, and what does it mean?
Okay, so if that's really happening right there, that's quite a case. If you have 7 people in a house and you're all waking up randomly at 9:11,
yeah,
I think there's something there.
He said, we have no personal involvement in the tragedy of 9/11, the digital date, so there's that bit of information as well. So, yeah, how do you explain that? I don't know.
Some people think it's made up. Not that, just any kind of crazy story that you have, you can't explain. The easy thing to do is say it's made up.
Well,
people want proof, and I also understand that.
But to me, if you talk about Joe and he's saying, I have no memory of doing that. There wasn't like a drunk night that we had. It was one night I was in sober mind.
Yeah.
I looked specifically at this thing. There was one photo. The next day, there's this photo of my brother and I. They're there. We did not take the photo. I have no memory of it. So maybe they were sleepwalking, and that was the weird thing that happened. That's still.
But they're both sleepwalking?
Right. At the same time, and they take a photo together.
That doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah. So that's just the kind of stuff we're talking about. Where, okay, maybe there is an explanation to this, and you assume that there is, but it's still stuff that you can't explain.
I love it.
What the heck is going on? Somebody texted in and said that as far as the reference to 9/11, somebody said that 9/11 numerically refers to your angels. So maybe there's something there.
Whoa.
9/11.
That's pretty cool.
Other people want to know, why are you going to bed so damn early?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That is a very good question, yes. I don't know. Somebody said, too, I'd heard a story that there were these 2 guys there on the beach, and they encountered something that they said took them into the water, and they came back a couple minutes later, and they're like, what was that? And they were fine. And then when they made it home, they looked at the clock, and hours had actually passed where they thought it was minutes.
That is one of the common traits in a UFO abduction, or people looking up in the UFO, they will report that they were only gone for 5 minutes, but when they look back, they've been gone for hours.
That's crazy.
And it feels like they've only been gone for minutes.
That happens to me at the bar.
Well, sometimes even seconds. There was one where she thought she was looking up at a UFO for 10 seconds, and her date ends up saying, yeah, you were gone for an hour.
Okay. Somebody said, for unexplained events, I had an encounter with the Hat Man, and it really shook me. I later in life found out that my mom and her sister also saw this entity. If you Google the Hat Man, you'll see that a number of people have seen it.
Yes, we've talked about the Hat. We've talked about the Hat Man before here on the show.
The Hat Man. Refresh my memory. What the heck is the Hat Man?
I believe the Hat Man is the guy. I think he's lanky. I think he kind of belongs to the shadow people.
Okay. Yeah, he looks like it. It looks like a guy that's just a silhouette with a
he's usually
flat-billed hat.
Usually kind of lanky, long.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. That's I personally believe the Hat Man's part of the shadow people.
Okay. We got Jason on here from Pompano. Talking about things that you can't explain. What do you have to bring up here, Jason?
There's some really weird creatures that have been coming out lately. I don't know if anybody has seen some of the stuff on Facebook. There's this Jacapopo animal that was posted. There's some dancing spider.
I've seen, I think, the dancing spider, and then you were talking about the tarantulas, that new breed of spider that they found around Miami.
Down in Miami.
Yeah. I don't know what that is either, but you're right. They are starting to discover. It's just all of a sudden this new species of spider that they hadn't seen before. Where did that come from?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some very bizarre things. Somebody said if Jaybird has checked out the book Missing 411 is all about strange and mysterious happenings where people go missing.
I love it. I'll check it out.
Yes. So a lot of people have this as well. So some crazy stuff.
I love talking about this stuff.
That's why you got a whole podcast about it, Weird and Whatever.
Which is coming back soon. We just have had a lot of stuff go down. I know it's been inconsistent, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, that shall be back.
Okay, so there you go. Yes, the Hat Man is the most commonly reported of the shadow people. A dark entity, kind of like a ghost type thing.
At my old townhouse, the one that the place I was at before, I did report on seeing something walk down my stairs that was long and lanky towards the end of my run there. That's the place where we actually got the footage.
Several people are saying that they have seen this. In fact, one text from somebody else other than the first text we got said, yeah, both my husband and son have seen the Shadow Man, and when they did, both had sleep paralysis. So they're sleeping, they're seeing this Shadow Man, like their eyes are open, but yet they can't move.
Yeah, and sometimes the Shadow Man...
terrifying.
Well, the Shadow Man, sometimes it'll just be fleeting. Sometimes he hangs around a little bit longer, but it's usually not too long.
Okay. He's in and out.
In and out, usually.
Okay. All right. Fascinating stuff.
At least for me, anyway.
Okay, there you go. Well, again, you can use the Mic Drop feature on our app. You can always send us the emails, mail at kvjshow.com, and people send us videos, audio, all that kind of stuff, too, that we can use on the show. How great does this sound? For 4th of July, a big old fat, juicy cheeseburger. Ugh, grease just dripping right off of it. If you were going to go someplace in South Florida and somebody recommends a burger joint, where is that place they should be recommending? Where do you get the best absolute burger in South Florida?
And you can throw them all in there. Sit down, fast food.
All of it.
Who's got the best burger?
Best burger, yeah. Here's kind of the starting list. We're going to be putting this up, getting your suggestions, and then this week, so when you go into the 4th of July weekend, you will have our vote from KVJ Nation. What is the top burger joints to go check out? Now, just kind of starting off with places we would suggest that you could vote for. Got Batch Gastropub. That's in Brickell. That's one of the top spots for a burger. Brass Ring, some people have said. That's a good place for a burger.
Since I was a little kid, there's always been talk about how great their burger. They are very good.
Burger Fi. Got burger in the name.
Yeah, my favorite burger from them is their veggie burger, believe it or not. It's so good.
Okay. You've got Dixie Bar and Grill. They've got some great stuff there. Duffy's Sports Grill. They have some really good stuff. You've got Five Guys. Do they have one of the best burgers in South Florida? Would you recommend people go check out Five Guys?
I do like Five Guys. Is the best. You know, that's a controversial statement. I would say no, they're not the best, but they are good.
Okay. We'll see if they can duke it out here when we put them against everybody else. Flanagan's Bar and Grill. A lot of people saying that is the best place to go get a burger. There's Gilbert's 17th Street Grill in Fort Lauderdale is one of the best burgers in South Florida. Grease, it's on Clematis in West Palm Beach.
The place my mom and Aunt Ann love, and they're still around, is Lindberger's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lindberger's. Habit Burger, some people are saying, is where you need to go.
They do have good food. I just got into Habit Burger about 6 months ago and really like them.
Okay. Johnny Brown's on Atlantic in Delray Beach for the best burger. Somebody else says Kaluz in Wellington has a prime rib burger. It's Kaluz.
Oh, you're making me so hungry.
Can anybody vouch for that? Oh, I know.
Oh, I want to get it.
Somebody else said Tucker Duke's for the best burger in South Florida, and someone even recommending a place called the Gin Mill. It's a dive bar in Fort Pierce on the corner of US 1 and Midway Road. Soft pretzel bun.
Where the hell is a Tucker Duke's at? What is that?
Tucker Duke's, they've got a couple locations. One is in Boca that I know of. I've been there. They carried our KVJ beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know who else has got good food? Got good burgers? Culver's.
Culver's, okay.
They do. They got some good stuff there.
Put them on there. Okay, Culver's for burgers. What else needs to be on the list? We'll get this thing posted up here this week. Get the voting going on at kvjshow.com. People are throwing in all kinds of different places, all the way from the Crazy Horse Saloon, our friends there on North Lake Boulevard.
There was a one burger place here back in the day in Palm Beach County. It was awesome, called Blizzards and Burgers. I wonder if anyone who's a local remembers that.
Blizzards and Burgers.
It was in Lake Park, but people drove from all over to go to it. It was that good.
Okay. Other ones that people are throwing out, Jack's Old Fashioned in Fort Lauderdale is good. La Parada del Gordo is amazing on Military and Crest Haven. Also, Uncle Mick's in Jupiter. Somebody saying you got to check that out. Charm City and Deerfield Beach is getting a couple of votes. Burger Shack in Jupiter. We've also got the Latin House Grill in Miami for burgers and shakes. That's at 74th and Collins in North Miami Beach. You have also got the Whistle Stop Bar and Grill in Isla Mirada.
A lot of answers I'm getting, people texting me my phone, is their homemade burgers. People pride themselves on making a great burger.
Yeah, but unless you want us to send everybody to your house, we're not going to be able to do that. Also, we got another one for Lures in Jensen Beach, and somebody just confirming on Tucker Dukes. They got a food truck, too. I've seen that around. They go to some breweries, and in the Boca Burger battle, they have won and had top 3 finishes. So they're one of the already accredited best. We'll have to look at the Boca Burger battle to make sure we got all those in there as well.
Denny's are doing Burger Tuesday.
Okay, so that's pretty much last call. So get those in, and then we'll get that up on a web poll today that you can go and check out, and we'll have a nice little list for you by the end of the week on the best burgers to go and check out here in South Florida. All right, I got an interesting email here and a thought. How would you handle this? Should couples always split housework evenly? This email says, my wife insists that we split our housework 50-50, and she thinks it's sexist of me to resist that. But I do way more than 50% of a lot of other things. I work longer hours, I make more money, I spend less money, and I spend way more time with our family than she spends with mine, or spends with her family than mine. It's unfair for housework to be the only thing that gets split 50-50. Do you think that housework has to be split evenly? What about things like earning money and doing work outside of the home?
What do you think about that?
Well, I think that you got to tackle anything like this as a partnership. And you do have to look at that. The fact that he might be working longer hours and things that might be more demanding, to me, hopefully you could find a compromise.
You just hope both people are cool with each other and understand each situation. If one's doing more on one end and the other's doing less and vice versa, you hope you can just come to a happy medium and everyone be #be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think that would be fair if he's, say, for instance, working 10 hours a day and she's working 8. They say, okay, hey, that's, an extra 10 hours a week that I'm putting in than you. And could it be at least 60-40 instead of 50-50?
Well, let's say you work 70 hours and the other person works 40 hours and then you come home and things aren't really ready. I don't think that's cool.
I would do it proportional.
On both ends.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. I mean, you can take whatever gender out of it and just say, why don't you add up the chores that you need and the hours to do those chores, and then work in whatever your work schedule might be, add that to it, and then you should come up with a fair equation.
Well, if let's say, me and Denny, Sweet Denny's are married, and he's coming home for work, and he's worked 5 or 6 hours longer than me, it's #be cool if I have some dinner ready for you. It's #be cool if the house is nice and cozy when you get there. No?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think if you...
Thanks,
Good
baby.
me, man.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, I think if you don't expect things to be fair, you're disappointed a lot less.
You're totally right.
Nobody owes anyone anything. Now, can you be cool? Yeah, you absolutely can. I mean, do you have to be? No, you don't have to be.
You just nailed it right there.
If you are cool, you're more likely to have a more successful relationship, I'd imagine. You got to, every now and then, you got to do something you don't feel like doing.
You're nailing it. Nothing's perfect on this planet.
It's tough. But yeah, if you don't expect it to be a fair split, and I mean, you pick up the slack when you can and you don't when you can't.
And don't take it too seriously.
And don't take it personally. If the person's not trying to probably spite you, it's more likely they're just busy as well.
Somebody said, with your equation, Kev, you got to make sure you take into account the yard work and the maintenance around the house. Yeah, absolutely. I would say anything that is upkeep, inside and outside, that all counts equally. So you would add that into your equation. Somebody also said maybe you need to look into, if you can afford
Divorce? Oh, sorry.
hiring a housekeeper, even if it's for once a month for a deep clean. Housekeepers save marriages.
They also can break them apart.
Oh, I know.
Housekeepers?
If you're sleeping with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody said all team time is created equally, not just because somebody makes more money. Tasks will never be 50-50, but there can be a way to make things better. There is a book they recommend called Fair Play that this couple needs to go and read.
Gotta tell you, Kev, once again, marriage sounds so fun.
It is, if you have a true partner that is there to say, hey,
right.
we're going to tackle this stuff together.
I'm being a smart ass. Again, it comes down to being hashtag be cool. And to Denny's point, don't be so... Just be hashtag be cool. Don't take it so personal.
Just don't take it so personally.
Virginia's out today. She will be back with us tomorrow. She went to Kentucky, and I can't wait to get her back here, not only because we miss her, but also want to hear her explain Saturday and her offer to be a surrogate for Jaybird.
We never like when somebody's out. We always like when the whole show's here.
Oh, absolutely.
We know it always throws off the dynamic.
Yeah, but you got to soldier on.
Got to keep going. Show must go on, Daddy.
Show must go on. You got to keep doing what you got to do. Keep on keeping on. We were discussing a second ago about splitting the chores in a family. People were wondering if they had any kids in that. And yeah, that would obviously. And you would add that into the whole dynamic. What are your work hours? What are the activities that need to be cleaned up inside and outside of the house? And do we have kids, and who's spending their time doing that? So yeah, that all goes into it. And if you're a good couple, you should feel, if you don't have an even split, resentment will be bred in that family. And I've recently tried to really pick up and say, okay, what can I do? I own making the bed. I own doing the dishes. There are things where I'm like, I needed to pick up my slack because I could just tell there's that quiet, growing resentment and that death stare that happens. Be like, you know what? I need to pull my weight a little bit better.
Denny's, it's so nice though. I can wake up, not make my bed, and walk around naked. It's nice.
The single man's life is nice.
Yeah, people are so jealous. I've just heard of the envy from all these married dudes that go to your house on the weekends, Jaybird, and then they come back talking like, gosh, man, why don't I have a house like that?
They speak tales of it.
Every person that goes in your house that is a married person always makes comment about how jealous they are.
Like, I didn't even know this was possible.
This type of paradise existed.
They go, I can tell you're not married, dude.
If only I knew, right?
Because they go, this is exactly what I do to my place.
Living the life, baby. Living the life. Coming up here in just a second, Jaybird has got his thought for the day for you. But this was kind of interesting, maybe an explanation to a possible mystery. We were talking yesterday, I think it was on the After the Show podcast, about Squirt. It was up in our soda draft, and you had picked it in the last week or so when we did that draft, Jaybird. And it was Eat This, Not That did a survey on each state's favorite soda, and they put Squirt as the favorite soda for Florida. And we're trying to figure it out, saying, okay, how many people in South Florida do you see drinking Squirt? We thought it was limited, so we thought maybe North Florida was what carried that.
I get a lot of pushback from people. There was not many people who love Squirt from the KVJ Nation area.
Yeah, but somebody had said maybe what it is the reason why Squirt is number one in Florida is because Mexicans use a Squirt with their Casa Tequila. Any tequila goes super good with Squirt and a little bit of lime.
And ever since we've talked about it, I've noticed some Squirt in our vending machine. Coincidence? I don't know, Denny's.
Yeah, so I don't know. Would that be enough? I don't know how large the Mexican population is here. I know it's very large in my house, but that might be a bit skewed.
Oh, Fat Kevin, I'd love to see you drink a Squirt.
You would, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay,
yes.
that would do it for you. Huh? Sounds like you're getting turned on. Yeah. We got the KVJ After the Show podcast going to be coming up here. You can check it out. It is going to be on YouTube. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the stories from the Raise Your Hand poll. Who's been caught with a fake ID? Where did it happen? Who's been sending out nudes? Half the show's been doing that. And who has had sex with two different people on a single day? What is the story about that? Half of the show that is in here today has been doing that as well. So ramping on up to a big old weekend coming up on Sunday. Don't forget 4th on Flagler is going to be going on. It's the area's largest fireworks show over the Intercoastal. They've got live music and entertainment starting on stage That goes from 7 to 10 p.m. on Sunday. On Saturday, you got a band that should be up Jaybird's alley called Ambrosia.
Oh, my gosh. How much I feel
for you, baby.
How much I need.
They're going to be at the Funky Biscuit in Boca Raton. And then on Sunday, you got Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
He's going to be at the Florida Jerk Festival on the 4th of July at the South Florida Fairgrounds. So just some of the things that you got going on. I'm all ready for the big old 4th of July weekend. All right, Jaybird, if you would, get us ready for the After the Show podcast. Your thought for the day.
Sometimes you need bad things to happen to inspire you, to change you, and to grow.
Okay.
No? No.
So,
sometimes you need bad things?
Bad things are good?
I'm just...
Is that what you're saying?
I was trying to make it positive, but...
Sometimes you just need bad things.
Damn, Virginia's the one that usually calls
Somebody
me
run over your dog?
Well, that's saying all bad. I didn't say all bad things. I said sometimes bad. Sometimes bad things.
Sometimes
kind of like this moment right now. I'm going to grow from this.
Okay, good.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.